All right, so here I'm watching this deal going on with C-SPAN, and I saw this whole thing play out. I actually posted a video on YouTube about it, where this precinct captain was going around in the beginning of the thing and basically just stating to people, "Oh, well, there's another way we can do it if we have an 85% vote." They are trying to confuse people. They are trying to make people think that this is more complicated than it's supposed to be. Stop allowing them to do that. They have no right to do this. This is voter suppression. This is them saying that, hey, we're the all-inclusive party while suppressing votes. Also, at the same time, they requested an actual count because all things being equal, basically two people weren't counted from the Sanders side, while no new count was done on the actual side of the Hillary camp. So things being equal, there should have been a count, or otherwise those two people should have still been included. Do you get my point? Doesn't make sense why it wasn't allowed. And then all of a sudden, once they felt like they had the numbers between, they didn't actually do a count. They just did off of voices. So they're going off of, so what if somebody's like deaf or mute? They're not giving up. I mean, these actions that they take and say that they're actually for the people and that they're actually inclusive are not. Because how many deaf people would have heard them? Did they have somebody signing any of this information to anyone? No, they did not. So do you know what? It wasn't inclusive. It was not meant for the people. It's meant to be a farce. Watch the guy that did the C-SPAN thing, and he was an arrogant prick, and I called it out. If you go to make 2016 burn, that's actually where I posted that a little while ago. It's just complete crap. They do not have a right to make it this complicated. Now, everybody that's watching it, that's now going to go to a caucus, needs to realize what they're going to do is they're trying to confuse you. They're trying, like, they know that everybody's paying attention right now. Guess what? Now people are like, man, I don't want to go be a part of that. Wow, that looked like a... No, it's not supposed to be like that. They made it look like that. They made it look like horse shit because they want everybody else to feel like, you know what, I don't even feel like going. Because guess what? They are paying people to go and live in other states or have, people do favors and things like that. And they've been doing this for months and months and months and months. And so by doing it for months and months and months and months, guess what? They meet requirements so they can live in that state. So you have people that are pretending like they're actually residents or live in that state, and they only do simply to try to skew the information and the people. So guess what? My girlfriend just said, well, what do you mean Hillary, she had a rally here. She didn't keep her people from going. I said, yes, she did. If you have a rally on the other side of town and there's 4 police departments in between the people that are supposed to be coming to your rally and the people that aren't, typically the ones that are going to be at your rally, meaning you're having it in a rich area, then obviously you should not be having a Democrat that's meant to be aimed at, the lower side part of society and helping us out and getting us social programs and getting us, more things for the people. You shouldn't be having your rally on that side of town. Your rally should be where Bernie had his, which is on that side of town, where people have better access to you. So people don't have to take a bus for 6 hours to get to you. Anyway, but if you already felt like you had enough people to go to the caucus for you, because you weren't planning on the caucus being that filled, because you were planning on trying to maybe skew things, and you'd already had this all kind of planned out in your mind, I would understand why you wouldn't want minorities and stuff there, because whenever people talk about all these new social issues that Bernie's been bringing to the forefront, that you have no leg to stand on. Whenever I heard Hillary people talking, it was the most ridiculous thing. They're talking about foreign policy. What? Who cared? I care about foreign policy? Nah, fuck that. I don't care about foreign policy right now. I care about home policy. I care about the 1,135 people that died last year at police hands. I care about all the millions of people that die every year because they don't have health insurance. I worry about all the millions of people that die every year from all of these things at home. And nothing is done about it. And we act like it is some sort of like privilege or some sort of thing to live in America, to die in America, to be a slave in America. It is not. All of these privileges, all of these things that you act like are privilege are not privileges. They're rights. They just tell you that they're privileges, so you just feel like you're just indebted to society, and you go to work and you're enslaved, and you never ever ask why. And do you know what? Ask why. Start wondering why. Start wondering why some people have a lot more than you and why some people have a lot less. Start asking why. Start saying, if I see so much, then why isn't there enough for everybody? I see homeless people all the time, and I see abandoned buildings all the time. I put one and one together. I'm like, man, those could be rehabilitation centers, places where these guys could get back, maybe get some life skills, learning skills, things like that. But to me, that would just be giving. That would just be social. No, it solves a fucking problem is what it does. It's called going to the roots of the problems. Bottom line, absolutely, I don't put anything against the Clinton campaign. They would not want, obviously, people that would be very receptive of Bernie's messages to be at the caucuses. So I think that Hillary's trying to fill up her corporate type people, her establishment type people, the people that, only want a Democrat no matter what at any and all costs, and any blue will do, and obviously they're idiots because they're the ones that started this. You know what? All honesty, if you think about this, George Bush was worth $20 million right now. He comes from oil. He owned the Texas Rangers. Dick Cheney's worth $90 million right now. We call those guys are the evilest everything that we talk about in America. They represent everything that we find disgusting on any kind of a progressive or liberal level. So why do we not pause when we know that they come from oil and all these other industries where they actually made money before they were in power? They had lots of money. Dick Cheney did make money obviously off of Halliburton after, but not like to the degree that he already had. He already was worth a lot of money before. Did you know the Clintons are worth over $130 million right now? Did you know that they were bankrupt in 2000? In less than 16 years, they've accumulated over $130 million. That's not including the probably $2 billion or $3 billion that they've collected in the Clinton Foundation. You guys need to actually pay attention. We're really, I mean, if you needed an idea of who the puppet masters were for Iraq, I would look at who has all the money. I would look at, who's seemingly benefited the most from it, and who's, what have they done? They had no industry. They came from nothing. Where did they get all that money? They're more wealthy than two people that we call war profiteers, war mongers, war whatever. But yet these two people, Bill and Hillary, have more money than two people that are considered the most evil people ever in America. Makes me pause. I'm going to stick with the guy named Bernie Sanders. I would suggest all of you do the same. If you don't, and this is the real thing, Hillary people, you need to pay attention to this. Because 100%, all of the polls before today, all of the polls said Ted Cruz beats Hillary hands down in the general election by 20 to 30%. Or 20 to 30 points, yeah. So, knowing that that's the case, then you can't make her the nominee. If you make her the nominee, you are nominating Ted Cruz. I literally had to, I can't even watch TV right now because they keep having him on because he just won Iowa. Ted Cruz won Iowa. And funny enough, that's actually the best thing that could happen to Bernie Sanders because you need to know, no matter what, we don't view Hillary any differently. So, you know what? Our life is shit with Hillary too. So we'll take shit just because, we're not going to sit here and put another corporate puppet into power. We're not going to sit here and vote for Hillary just because she's a woman. We're not going to do these things because these things go against our principles. And we don't go against our principles because we burn. We burn because we have felt this way forever. And we allowed you to do what you do, and we've shut up. We didn't say anything. Guess what? It is our time. It's our turn. It's our chance. And we're taking it back. So no matter what happens in Iowa, we won Iowa. Because Cruz won Iowa, which means that Bernie won Iowa. Because no matter what, you can say, those polls came out long before anybody thought Cruz would do anything in Iowa. So bottom line, there was nothing to be gained by anyone by saying Cruz beat Hillary. Does that make sense? So, in knowing that, those polls were probably accurate or not as skewed as other polls. So therefore, Hillary people, you should be scared. You're definitely forewarned because I'm not voting Hillary. Bottom line, and I know. I represent thousands of people that are only voting Bernie, registered to vote Democrat just for Bernie, is willing to do whatever we need to help make America great again. on the terms of doing it in a progressive manner in which we're going to try to get health care for every single person in this United States without regard to their economics or anything else, because a homeless person that has a broken rib shouldn't be homeless because he has a broken rib. The man should be able to get fixed and be able to get rehabilitated and put back into society. There's no reason why these people should just be victims of themselves or victims, of circumstance for their whole lives for one thing or two. Like, these things, we should be taking care of each other. I'm sorry Democrats don't get that at some point in time. I mean, you guys are the definition of a beaten dog that just has, you guys. Ultimately, now you just snap and bite at everything. Snap, 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 yeah. That's every time. Stop it. You're fighting each other. You're fighting us. You're fighting everyone. And you need to stop. Fighting leads to nothing. Do you know what leads to doing? Doing stuff. That's what leads to doing. Fighting, blaming, all of these things, that's what gets Ted Cruz elected. So, bottom line, you guys, if you want Ted Cruz, that's the way to go. I know this is a long video, and I'm not doing it from my phone. I'm doing it from an iPad, which isn't ideal for me. But anyway, hope everybody enjoyed the caucus tonight. I still haven't gotten anything definitive, so I'm not going to speak on it until I know. Unlike the Hillary Clinton camp that claimed victory. So no matter what, we won. I mean, I promise. I don't feel. I mean. Yeah, I feel way good, but that voter suppression shit and what they were pulling, I dare y'all to do that shit in Vegas. Yeah, I dare you. I bring it on, Hillary camp. I'll be all over my caucus. I'm precinct captain, and yeah, I'll do. Feel free. I'm gonna have very honest and very, very polite. But I'm not going to allow any bullshit. And if you try it, you're going to find out. So, anyway, have a great night.